Hey guys, Ben Arnett here, co-founder, president of Fohse, and we are here at season 3 with Fohse the Future podcast. And I'm sitting with Willie Vlasic, and he's a Fohse grower who's had some experience in multiple states. But I wanted to get his story from how he met us and some of the awesome stuff he's actually doing today in cannabis. I think he's kind of setting the standard and leading a great example. So kind of let him tell his story and we'll kind of see what they have planned in the future.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for having me on the podcast. We're super excited to be here out in Vegas. So just a little on my background. My father and I started Vlasic Labs a few years back. I've been a grower for 7 or 8 years and partnered up with Perfect Harvest and Mama J's originally, where I had my first exposure to HPS and LED growing. We worked with a handful of out-of-the-country LEDs at our Michigan facility where we were doing the Let's Chief brand.
Yep.
And we switched to Fohse, and I got to see them firsthand. And when I saw the yields, when I saw the numbers, when I saw the quality, it just blew my mind, honestly. The science that you guys have in the lights is really incredible, and we're really happy to be able to use them. Just a little on our company. So my family founded Vlasic Pickles. We're now in the cannabis and hemp space. We do a lot from THC to CBD to CBN. We actually have some of our products here. So we have our dog treats, we have our bath bombs. We also have our Schedule 1 pre-rolls out. So Schedule 1 is our partnership brand with the Last Prisoner Project.
Awesome.
It's powered by LPP and Vlasic Flower. So we donate a portion of the proceeds back to them. And, a huge mission of ours, obviously, is we're very fortunate to be able to be a part of this industry, and we want to give back and help the people that were wronged, by this horrible war on drugs and help them, move the industry forward. But
yeah. Steve D'Angelo is doing an awesome thing with the Last Prisoner Project. I know we have trying to get him on the podcast this year as well. He said he would committed, and Fohse is kind of committed to that same initiative. It's just crazy even thinking like California, there's still people locked up, for life or more for selling an ounce of weed. So all the same time, there's people growing it legally, so it's got to just drive you bonkers. But
they actually just got another prisoner out in California that was serving for 14 years for a dispensary that he operated in California, believe it or not, and still was in jail all those years later. But it's awesome to be able to help with them. We're actually taking our partnership to the next level with Last Prisoner Project by making them the official charity of our new cannabis networking golf tournaments called the Vlasic Classic.
Oh, awesome.
So our first one is down in Missouri this summer, in the Ozarks, and we'll be bringing it to Michigan and Nevada the following year, hopefully. And on the Nevada side, we also have our cultivation facility opening up here in North Vegas. We're partners with Perfect Harvest and Mama J's on that, so we're going to be doing the Mama J's brands. We'll have the Vlasic Flower, we'll have the Schedule 1. We might also grow some flower for some other large multi-state brands that want to have us grow for them here. But we've got all Fohse in that facility too. And I'm a customer for life. I've seen it myself, and it's definitely been a no-brainer as far as the colors and the terpenes and the yields and everything across the board. You don't even need to look at the data. The data is amazing, but when you look at the plants and listen to the plants and see what they're doing under the lights, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, we kind of had to talk about that last night when we were at the Cannabis Chamber of Commerce. We were talking about there's kind of two different growers. There's guys that can only look at their parameters and the environmental controls in the room. And say they're using HPS and they throw in LEDs. They don't make any of the micro changes because they only know their set parameters. And then there's guys that look at the plant and they know how to adjust feeding, temperature, humidity, every other environmental control to what the plant's doing. And we kind of said it's always trying to find that guy and then give him the equipment he needs to push those plants to maximum potential. And obviously, Omar, you guys put us through some serious, vigorous testing. It wasn't just like a quick throw some Fohse lights up, first run, oh, yeah, we're happy, we'll go buy all Fohse. I remember we had to go through, it was almost a year, I think, straight. We did a couple serious runs with you guys, and then it was a couple lights more. And but yeah, super exciting partnership. And then obviously, like you said, the proof's in the pudding. And again, like we said last night, plants don't lie, people do. And you can't deny, yield data. You can't deny the COAs, terpenes, THC, passing. If you're passing or failing, that's a huge thing. So Pretty excited. I'm actually stoked that we're going to be checking out. I know we got a little crew heading up to Perfect Harvest here. They got I think just under 1,000 lights going up. So
Yep. Yeah, we're
that'll be
really,
super
really
exciting.
excited for you guys to see the facility today, and we'll make sure some of that footage makes it into the podcast. On the team and equipment side, like you were saying, I mean, I had a all-star grower team, but they weren't working with the same equipment. And at the end of the day, I remember there were times where my Michigan guys would be calling me to be like, we just hit 4.2 a light. And I'm like, that's awesome, man, but we just hit 4.5 on our first run. And, like, you guys are crushing it up there. I can't even imagine what you would do with some Fohse. Like, that's what I tell the growers. Like, you guys got to get some Fohse so you can really see what you can actually put out. Because it's like you said earlier, Tiger Woods will do great with a Walmart set of golf clubs, but you give him some TaylorMades and you knock it out of the park.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the greatest way to make that analogy too. Is, I mean, you've seen it because you guys are funding a lot of projects in the cannabis space. You've seen multiple build outs, retrofits, and you know that you can give, there's a whole different array of talented growers, right? But if you've got like a Tiger Woods or, like the Kelly Slater surfing, reference that Tyler from Three Bros talked to me about the other day, is, Kelly Slater can shred on a wooden door better than I can on the nicest surfboard on the planet, right? But you give him the nicest surfboard on the planet and the dude's going to win every championship in the world. Same thing with the Tiger Woods thing. He can, use a Fisher Price toy set, golf set, and whoop my ass up and down a golf course. But you give him some TaylorMades and it's game over. So it's, giving those guys the right equipment they need to make sure that you're continuously being competitive in the market, which is growing more flower, the same or better potency at a lower cost per pound, right? And then that's the whole goal for the cultivator, because then now that trickles down to cheaper, better medicine for your patients, a better, more reputable blend, more quality, more consistency. And it all comes down to the equipment you're using, the nutrients, how dialed in are your environmental controls? Are you hitting any new ceilings? Like lights used to be the ceiling. You could only put this much light to your plants without messing it up. Now that's not really the case anymore because of high output LEDs. So now what is it? Is it dehumidification? Is it feeding? Is it watering? So it's always just that moving jigsaw puzzle at every different week basically. So it's fun to see guys like you go in and really kind of take that analytical data approach and not just do willy-nilly testing. You guys kept data to a T, and I know we're excited to actually do a case study on that. And get a nice testimonial, which is kind of what we're talking about as well. As these guys are expanding, we're obviously super excited to be a part of that, and I know that he's got some plans too that he'll probably share with us. So
yeah, we're really excited to enter the Nevada market. I mean, we've been in the Midwest for a while now, and Perfect Harvest started out in Washington and been doing it forever. And to bring our products and our quality to a market like Vegas, we're so excited because I look at the market here and there's a lot of weed that, it is the desert. It is really dry, but if your flower's cured properly and is at the right price to sell off the shelf quick enough, it'll stay fresh on the shelf. And what I've noticed here is there's so many overpriced eighths. They might have been fire when they got on the shelf, but the problem is they're not selling quick enough because everybody wants their 50, 55, 60 an eighth that they might be able to get on the strip, in Vegas, but then you've got weed on the shelves for 4 months that's turning into dust. And what we really want to bring is quality, affordable cannabis to Vegas that is going to be fresh and not turn into dust when you put it in your hands.
Yeah, 100%.
I saw you guys had Calvin on the podcast recently.
Yeah, we just had him telling his story, kind of similar to you, and kind of going through the testing he did to come up with Fohse, and same thing. He put us through the ringer. Most of our clients do because we ask him to. We tell him, we're not scared of the Pepsi challenge. Put us up, and like again, plants don't lie. Let's just see what happens. Work with our team. We're going to work on increasing light levels and feeding, and managing environmental controls. We're going to check ECs in your medium and make sure that we're giving the plant what it needs. It's not just about running the equipment at 100%. If the plants only need 80%, then we're going to keep it at 80%, right? So very similar testing to what you guys did, all data driven, and those are the guys obviously we like to talk about because it's not just I grew more, it's I grew this strain by this much more, here's the COA, and that's the stuff that everyone wants to see and hear and they appreciate. And super excited about you guys coming to Nevada. I think there's like 70 something licenses out and only half of them are actually in operation.
Yep.
So a lot of room for
It seems like
some good operators to come in and take a good chunk of market share.
there's definitely a lot of room for disruption here. That's what I've noticed, and we've entered other markets early and kind of halfway through, and I feel like we're coming in a little later here, which I'm actually really excited about because I think we're going to be able to make some real change and make some real noise out here. I only ask about the Calvin thing because I'm from Detroit, so I'm a big Lions fan, and we actually work with Primitive out in Michigan, so they carry our THC and our CBD products at their store in Niles, and they run an incredible operation. So I was just stoked to see Megatron on the show, obviously, and props to you guys for getting him on, and props to him for doing the research because he seems, I've never met him in person, but he seems really well spoken and really knowledgeable as far as like the industry goes, and it's just refreshing to see an athlete of his caliber get into the game and really care about quality and all the right things.
Yeah, I mean, their entire team's just, class acts. I mean, everything from, like you said, he's super well spoken. They have their vision and their mission dialed in. They know what they're doing. And he gives his team the equipment they need to produce, right? And he gives back to the community, I think, as much as you possibly could.
Yeah.
And he does it with the biggest smile on his face, and he always greets everyone. Every Benzinga yet, he'll take a picture with anyone. He's just the nicest dude in the world.
Yep.
So it's a super fun group for us to work with. They're easy to work with. They're receptive to working with our Hort staff and Leo and the marketing team. And been an absolute pleasure working with those guys. That's been probably one of our favorite partnerships.
That's awesome. It's great to hear, other companies that are mission focused. That's really what we're trying to do on the THC side. Our main mission is, fighting the injustices that have occurred to people in this industry. And then on the CBD side, we just partnered with the Humane Society with our dog treats. So trying to give back to the dogs, and we're big dog lovers. Anybody that has an anxious or an old pup that isn't feeling too good, you can check out our dog treats at VlasicLabs.com. We also have the bath bombs on there, sleep products, pain products, you name it, all the highest potency for the lowest cost in the country. So
it's bonkers. So the stuff does work, especially on the canine friends. I know that they have, I know if the receptors are larger, their cannabinoid receptors just hit CBD different, but they react very well to CBD.
Yep. On the cannabis side, as far as the lights go and everything, we've grown for a lot of big brands, and we've gotten testimonials from them as well. I mean, whether it be Cookies or Seed Junkie, I grew some flower for Jakua, for Lil Wayne's brand, and every dispensary buyer, every cannabis connoisseur, every celebrity rapper that's come through a facility of mine has been blown away by the quality underneath these lights. And the data speaks for itself, but when I see the look on people's faces and I see the look on my growers' faces, and some folks that might not be looking at the data, they know too. It's obvious. It's in the smoke. I mean, as much as it's in the COAs and it's in the yields and the data, it's in the smoke.
Yeah, and I know a lot of guys. We have a lot of clients that, you incentivize your growers who are running a room. You get paid on pounds produced per room. You get bonuses if you hit certain goal marks, if you hit certain terpene or THC marks. And I know we have a couple clients that we're doing tests, or as they're outfitting from like HPS or another LED to Fohse, you get growers fighting over who gets to grow in the Fohse room because they know they're going to make more money that run. So I know you mentioned a couple of stories like that last night. So that was
completely.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's always the the diminishing returns that you got to, like, how much more nutrients and watering can you put in to make the flower that much better to light levels. But I mean, as you know, it's not what it was before. It's not 1,000 U-moles or HPS, or it's 1,200 to 1,500 PPFD, feeding at high EC, multiple feeds a day. And like you said, you watch the plant. There's a couple different styles of growers. There are guys that look at their rooms and their equipment, and there's the guys that look at their plants, and they dial everything in else to what's happening in the plants. And those guys are the ones that, like you said, know to start feeding more, bump up the nutrients, or they're actually using, the sensors to go check EC in the medium, and, managing the data, which is a really easy way. If you're actually controlling and watching those things, you can make micro adjustments along the way so you don't completely torch a crop, a couple weeks in and scratching your head wondering what it is. If you're tracking all that data like you guys were successfully, it makes it a lot easier to make every run just more and more dialed in. Like you said, the first run's what we always want to do, like knock it out of the park. Our goal every time we do a test is to make sure that first run's record harvest. And obviously, you guys, that was perfect opportunity. And you guys had even still have extremely talented growers, right? So it makes it way easier for you guys to manage that, and then obviously train and move to new states as well.
Yep. Yeah, and one thing I've noticed too, the data with the Fohse that we've gathered over the years has made it easier and easier, for us to enter new markets, to explain data to partners, to investors. As far as raising capital goes, having a partner like Fohse makes a lot of our investors more comfortable. We have a great relationship with the company, and we've been working with you guys for a long time, where a lot of these growers, they want to try every light on the market. And if you look at the data, and we tested a lot of other lights back in the day, but that's why we were doing such vigorous testing. We didn't buy full rooms of anything. I mean, I'd be lying if I told you we didn't test out a Fluence or a Lux. We tested them out. It just didn't stack up. And, that's why we ended up going with the way we went, and we're never going to look back. I mean,
I think you guys started with like 4 lights.
Yeah.
And it was like 30.
We had a whole room that had 4 of these LEDs here, 4 of these LEDs here, 4 of these LEDs here.
Yeah, everyone got their own little cube or their own little grid, and then it was
a battle.
Grid. Yeah, then it was
same
a battle
strains, doing same strains, same environmental parameters, everything, and just trying to make the best decision for our business, based on the results and the data and the quality.
Hell yeah! Anything else coming up for you guys? Excited, and then for the golf thing, for sure, we want to get involved on that. I know that Fohse would love to be a sponsor, and any excuse to get to the Ozarks, and obviously Nevada's our hometown, so we gotta
for sure.
We'll show up for that.
I sent the invite out this morning to my 18 teams, but if any one of them doesn't come through, you have their spot in Missouri.
Let me know, because that would be outrageous.
There's going to be a lot of incredible vertically integrated companies there, big grows, big labs, and they're still they're learning quickly down there, but they're not at the level that Cali or Vegas is at yet, and I feel like there's a lot of growers that could benefit from Fohse down in Missouri, so we'll definitely talk about it.
Oh yeah, dude, appreciate it. I know we actually just signed a contract too, locking in our partnership for like the next 3 years with a master service agreement, so super excited about that. Anything new you guys think's coming on the East Coast, or where's your vision next?
Sure. So we're launching a lot of new products in Michigan right now under Vlasic extracts. Our day and night gummies are extremely popular. They're THC CBG and THC CBN gummies. So we're actually looking for a processor here in Nevada to work with for our extracted products, because currently we only have a grow license here. So if any potential licensees out there that want to do some business together, feel free to hit me up.
We can probably help you out with that too. We got vertically integrated clients here, so we'll just
100%
after this one.
That'd be great.
I'll connect you.
Awesome. And as far as other markets go, I mean, we're looking at a lot of different states on the East Coast and then the Midwest, but we want to make sure we really lock down the markets we're in, and that we have a huge successful launch in Vegas, because I don't need to be in 10 states next year. I want to continue to grow at the pace we're growing at, and 4 states is plenty to manage, and I think we're gonna kill it. But definitely keep you posted as we continue to acquire more licenses.
Awesome, man. Well, super exciting. Yeah, you guys heard it. More stuff to come. We're gonna go do a little tour here, and you'll actually be seeing footage of that on the podcast. So stay tuned. Lots more to come, and I think we'll do another probably follow up on Perfect Harvest here in Las Vegas when we drop in plants, and when we get to our first harvest, which you for sure got to come back out for that, and we'll
100%.
We'll burn that one down.
If you guys want to find us on Instagram, we're Vlasic Labs and Vlasic Extracts, and then Mama J_S is the Mama J's brand. And just remember, Mama grows best. Time before that, it was just a building. Time before that, there was no building.
Yeah. We're a dune. That's right.
We are opening our 50,000 square foot facility here in North Vegas, with plants going in the ground next month, and you should expect product coming to the market in August. We've got about 1,000 Fohse lights that are going to be hanging here soon, and we could not be happier to be bringing the fire to the Nevada market. Remember, Mama grows best. We went from flipping pickle bags to nickel bags, and we're here to stay. Being here building to seeing a building to seeing a building with walls to seeing all the electric and the racks and the HVAC up. It's a fucking amazing feeling.
It's exciting. Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for you guys.